Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking time to join us in our 15th webinar series, which we've called Keep Calm and Get Digital. My name is Tom, and I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. We're about to head into our second week of Alert Level 2, and I think we're all sort of learning to adapt to the new ways of shopping in order to avoid those queues. One thing we've seen, though, is a real increase in the way people are turning to online sources in order to do their prior research or window shopping before going out. One thing that has been researched previously is those that continue to advertise or start or make a start in this direction during uncertain times can lead to increased sales and market share. To give you an example of what I mean by this, there was some research done into what Pizza Hut and Taco Bell did in the 1990-91 recession. They took advantage of McDonald's decision to drop its advertising and promotional budget. As a result of this, Pizza Hut increased sales by 61%, Taco Bell sales grew by 40%, and McDonald's sales declined by 28%. There have been other examples such as Kellogg's cereal during the 1920s and Amazon in 2009. With this being said, our topic today, Google Ads 101, how to get started in advertising with Google, is tailored towards giving you an insight into Google Adwords and some tips to get you started. Our speaker today, Nidhi, lives and breathes Google Adwords, and it's a strength within her digital marketing repertoire. She has closely worked with a number of clients over the years in refining their AdWords campaigns, and she's here today to show and tell us about what she's learned over her career. Just a bit of housekeeping as we move forward. This is Nidhi's the speaker for today is Nidhi. A bit of housekeeping. If you haven't joined us before, I'd quickly run over what we housekeeping rules anyway. And if at any point you feel like you want to ask something, please feel free to post those in the Q&A box. And sometimes what we do, if it makes sense to bring it up in this segment, we'll actually do that right then and there. Otherwise, we'll get to the Q&A section at the end, and you can participate either by putting up your hand at that time or just posting them in the Q&A box, and we'll read those out for you. So hopefully you'll enjoy today's session. I'd like to invite Nidhi now to go through and take us through her presentation.
Thanks for introducing me, Tom.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll just quickly share my screen. So today's topic is Google AdWords 101, how to get started advertising with Google. So what we will be briefly covering in today's webinar is common acronyms you should know in AdWords, and is Google Ads right for you? And steps to create a simple Google ad account, and just starting with the ads, AdWords account structure, which is again a very vital, how to formulate a good account structure, and then what keywords you should be targeting upon, and then we will be covering about ad copy basics, how you can create a simple ad with the landing page, and we will be briefly introducing what are ad extensions and some bidding strategies which are very important in order to start with. So coming to the first topic, which is common acronyms you should know in AdWords. So the clicks, this is the most common thing, number of times your ad is clicked. So every time your ad is clicked, you are charged for that. So these are called clicks. The impressions, so number of times your ad is viewed is called impressions. So every time your ad is seen but you're not charged for it, so this is like you can it's easy to count upon the impressions, number of times your ads are viewed. So if your ads are being viewed, your impressions are high but are not clicked, then your clicks must be low. So there is something wrong in the ads then. So it's important to actually measure this ratio, clicks over the impressions, which is called click-through rate. This is percentage of people saw your ad and clicked it, clicks upon impressions. The average CTR for a search ad is 1.9%. Always see that your CTR rate should be good, the clicks upon impressions ratio. Next key term is cost per click. This is a actual cost you are paying to Google for a single click. And then conversions action. Conversions. So what are conversions? Conversions are actually the actions completed by a visitor. So whatever goals you are aligning in analytics, every time that goal is completed, one conversion is measured in AdWords. We will also be talking about SERP page here. These are called search engine results page, like you can see in the screenshot on the right hand side. So these are the search engine results page. So you can see the paid results on the top and you can see the organic results at the bottom. So paid results are where your ads usually show up, your search ads. We will be also talking a lot about keywords here, different match types. So keyword is actually a phrase, or you can say query, or a word that you type in Google. Like in this screenshot, lower tickets is typed in. So the keyword is actually the main thing in Google AdWords. So whatever word or phrase you're using and bidding in a campaign is a keyword. Coming to the next slide, you should always put yourself in the shoes of your customers and ask yourself these questions, or maybe just channelize your inner marketer inside you and just ask these questions from you, from yourself, like, are people aware of your products or services to the point that they are searching for it? Maybe not. Maybe not all the businesses are searched online. Maybe all of them are. So just do a research before working on AdWords. Just see how people are actually making a search in regards to your products and services.
Hey, Nydia, just a question for you then.
Hmm.
Do you find that a lot of people, I'll phrase it another way, businesses, when they're in their the business terminology of things, they fail to perhaps understand the way in which the client would phrase something? Do you find it's necessary to think like the client and phrase the keywords in a term that the person searching would use?
So I believe that making a prior research, I mean, you can use a Google Keyword Planner tool also in order to make that search, and just use. I will be giving actually some suggestions after the keywords
Awesome.
slide here, like how you can do those researches and how you can just actually initially plan top searched keywords for your business.
Mm,
So we'll be covering that in our coming slides.
right. Awesome.
Also, is your website updated, mobile friendly, and ready for traffic? So this is very important. If you are running AdWords and your website is not up to the mark, then there's no point wasting your budget. So just basically doing these pre-checks before launching your ads is very important again. And what are your objectives and budget? Just thinking about budget, how much you want to spend on monthly basis, and what are your goals? Like for a lead generation website, goals could be completion of the contact forms or maybe phone calls from the website. So just thinking about those goals are very important before starting with ads. And is your website layout, copy, and call to action, CTA is call to action here, are set up according to your goals? So again, your website layout, the copy on the website should be very compelling and should answer all the questions. I mean, it should be relevant to whatever you are showcasing in the ads. And of course, a call to action button is also very important on the website. Like if your website is not directing your incoming customers, then and they won't end up doing anything on your website, they might exit your website. So a call to action button is very important to direct your customers, like according to your goals. So CTAs are important. And last thing is, are you prepared or committed to run AdWords for or more than 3 months? So initially, what AdWords does is it brings you the traffic, instant traffic, but for conversions to make, for like if you are willing to look for the conversions, which is the ultimate goal of running ads. So you need to at least spend some patience, and you need to have patience and spend some like almost 3 months of time to make those conversions happen. And it is also study to behavior and statistics of the AdWords. So it takes around 4 months of time, like in order to get some good amount of conversions out of your budget and look upon the ROI.
Yeah, critical point there. That's good.
Yeah. Also, I have this expert tip here. What you should do, you actually need to take all the main metrics into account and get a great balance between high click volumes, click through rate, and conversions at a profitable cost per conversion. So, like for example, your if the cost per conversion, the coming cost per conversion is not as good as like what you have thought, so then there's no point running ads. So it's important to just measure this, whether you are getting revenue on the ads or not, whether the cost per conversion is actually a good value to think about, or whether it's fruitful to run ads and spend that much budget. So cost per conversion value is very important. So we'll be now talking about the basic steps you can create, how you can create your ad account. You just need to log in into adwords.google.com. It's free. I mean, you can just sign in with your existing Gmail ID. And also, it's advisable that you should use the same Gmail ID from which you have created your business listing and your YouTube channel. So it also gives idea to Google also, like if you have integrated all your important assets under one email ID. So just a simple Gmail ID access is required and just sign up with it. And it will also ask you to enter your website URL, and you need to select time zone and set the currency, and you are ready to go for creating your first campaign. One important thing I would really like to highlight here is the currency thing. So you can change the time zone later on also, but you cannot change the currency. So just be very conscious while doing these settings. You cannot change the currency settings later on. Cool. So we'll just switch to the basic account structure, how the ads actually look like. So this is the basic AdWords campaign, as you can see from the screenshot. So how it is divided is like one campaign can have multiple ad group. Like for example, here the single campaign is having two ad groups. Like for example, we are running ads for Zeald, so we can have two ad groups as two of our services, like website optimi or website designing as well as digital marketing. So just divide your services according to these multiple ad groups. And under a single ad group, you can have multiple ads. Here it is only showing a single ad, but you can have multiple ads under a single ad group, like 4 to 5 ads I would advise you should have for each single ad group. And then you can use the ad extensions. We will be covering about ad extensions in our coming slides, and then the keywords. So one ad group can have multiple set of ads and multiple set of keywords. So like for example, 10 keywords for website optimization or website designing ad group. This is how the whole structure works. So there's campaign, you need to know about ad groups, which is according to the services or the product or the categories according to your website. And when setting up the structure, it's best to break out into categories and think about the budgets. And you can also set locations according to the ad groups and the categories, and the network where you want to display this, like whether you want to display these ads on the search network or on the display network. Search network is the SERP pages, like search engine result page, which we have seen in the previous slide. And display network is the third party websites. When you see ads on the third party websites, those are display networks. So the expert tip I would like to give here is account structure is the key to success here. The better you organize your account structure, the better your ad relevance is. What I personally do for my clients is I always organize these ads like the website structure. I see the client's website, and the way the website is structured, like it's like a mirror image of your website. And the way you should be designing your ad groups is should be like the categories mentioned in your website. So the next big topic is what are keywords? Again, this is like the basis of AdWords. If your keywords are wrong, then you are just wasting your budget on wrong terms and phrases. So keywords are very important to research before. So what are keywords? Keywords are keywords or phrases that users enter into the Google. And AdWords work by allowing advertisers to bid on the keywords that are relevant to their business so that their ads are shown to users. Use Planner tool to find out relevant keywords. So I always advise to use the Planner tool, keyword Planner tool. You can just think about the top 10 keywords which you might think that are relevant to your brand, and then just add them in the keyword planner and see what's the traffic on them, and see what's the CPC, cost per click, on them. So this also gives you an idea of the relevant keywords. Google also suggests you some keywords to add, and just select the high traffic keywords which are having decent CPC also. This will also give you an idea of what budget you should be bidding on. So like I told you, keyword is very complicated in Google AdWords. So understanding keywords is, you also need to understand the different match type of keywords which are used in Google AdWords. Number one is broad match. When beginners set up their AdWords, they end up using broad match keywords, which actually waste a lot of their budget. So like for example, like women's hat, you can see from the screenshot also, like if we are using the keyword women's hat, this is a broad match keyword. So what this will do, this will also tap all the misspellings, all the synonyms related to women's hat, and the other relevant variations like by ladies hats. Sometimes, like in this case, it is relevant. I mean, it can bring you conversions even if it is showing your ads on this keyword example searches as well. But with some, in some cases, this actually brings a lot of unwanted traffic or unwanted clicks on the ads, which we really don't want to waste our budget on. The best is the broad match modifier. I always use this for my clientele. Like it's a keyword with a plus sign initially, like plus women's plus hats. What this keyword does, it contains a modified term, the closer variation, but not the synonyms. It can also target the ads in when keywords are used in any order, like hats for women. So this also broaden the search, as well as it keeps to the particular example keyword used in it. So broad match modifiers, you should be using broad match modifiers instead of broad match keywords. Next is phrase match. Phrase match is, for example, women's hat. So this will be like in the exact sequence. It will be captured in the exact sequence. So women's hat and the exact match also, like exact match keywords are like when you want to use the exact term. This is best used when you are having some branded stuff and you know that the name won't change. So using the exact match in that case is very fruitful. Little complicated, but you can find so many tutorials in Google about the keyword match types, and you will be able to just do some research on the match types, and then it's good to go. And the negative match keywords, so which we will be covering in the next slide. So the negative keywords actually are, you can also add the keywords which you want to exclude from the search. So those are called negative keywords. So what are the negative match types here? And of course, negative keywords are the must. You have no choice there. You need to add negative keywords while running ads. Otherwise, you will end up having so many unwanted clicks and traffic, and which you really don't have relevancy of your website. So it is not relevant to your website, and still that if you're receiving those clicks, it is going to waste your budget. So negative also have the match types, negative exact match types, negative phrase, negative broad. I prefer using negative phrase. Like if you want to use you want to exclude herbal cleanse keyword, so it will only allow herbal cleanses, like the exact sequence, not even the s in the last. So it will block the searches like herbal cleanse, by herbal cleanse, anything to do with herbal cleanse, it will block the search. So it is advisable, like for example, you're an e-commerce store and there is a particular category which is specific to your industry, but you're not selling that. So that keyword might bring traffic on your website, but if you're not selling that product, that keyword is of no use. So you can just exclude by adding those negative keywords in the search. One expert tip I would like to give, is using the Google autocomplete and Google search suggestion mechanisms. So this really gives you a good idea of having keywords. Like if you're not used to using the keyword planner tool and you're not understanding the statistics in the keyword planner tool, you can also like type in the name of your service or a product, and Google shows you the relevant searches according to that. These can also be your keywords if something is relevant to you. So these also gives you an idea of high traffic keywords you can find in the search results here. And you can see the autocomplete mechanism gives you set of 10 keywords which will be related to the phrase you have entered. So this can be a good idea of using some keywords and shortlisting your top 10 keywords. All right, so now we are at the ad copy basics, how to write a strong ad copy. So ad copy comprises of headline, description lines, display URL, and you can also select the final URL. Sorry, you have to select the final URL. And of course, you need to tick the mobile device as well. So the headlines. So headlines have to be 25 characters to grab someone's attention. Ad body. It should be enticing and clear about what you can do for the reader, like 2 lines each of 35 characters to describe your offer. And the landing page, first landing page is the display URL. This can actually be this is not supposed to be the actual URL, actual landing page URL. This can be comprised of some keywords also, like for example, in the screenshot it's given wedding dresses, but that cannot be the actual URL. This is just the display URL. So display URL is the one you want your ad to display, and the actual final URL is the URL of the website where you want people to land from these ads to. So this is called the destination URL. This is the landing page users will be sent through. So it's worth spending time testing different landing pages to see which performs best for the specific queries. We have covered the writing a simple ad copy. Now it's time to cover the ad extensions. What I usually call ad extensions is accessories to your existing ad copies in a girly name. So, so yeah, it's like accessories to your existing ad copy. So you have designed the ads, you have added the keywords. Now it's time to accessorize your ads. So what are these ad extensions? So you can see the basic ad copy has, I'll take you to the previous slide, sorry. The basic ad copy has the heading and the description lines and the display URL and the actual URL which is in the ad copy. But the extension actually enhance the look and feel of your ads. So you can see, where there are different types of extensions available, like app extensions in case you're having an application and you want to increase the installments of those applications. So you can also add app extension to your ads. Review extension, like you can see the mighty ape screenshot below. This is using the review extension. So what review extensions does is they actually includes the customer feedback from the third party website. It could be from Google reviews. It could be any review button you're using on your website which is embedded in your website. So it automatically actually fetches the data, and it shows it here, the whatever reviews are there for a particular product. And it could be for your website as well, like in this case. And the third one is callouts extension. This is like an additional information you give to Google, which can be free shipping or price matching. Like in this case, in the Mighty app, it is clothing, baby, see today's deals, get Prime it now. So these are the special lines which you can add to your ads, like just to grab the user's attention. So these are call out extensions. Also, we have structured snippets, like you can see on the top ad. When a ad shows snippets of the second level pages of your website, so those are called those are called site link extensions. But the structured snippets are again they are similarly like call out ads. They also pull details about a product, but they are displayed randomly from your landing page. So whatever information is there on the landing page, and if you have enabled the structured snippets, it will automatically fetch those lines from your landing page. And like I told you, site link extensions are the extensions of an ad from your website. This could be your second level pages. Like, for example, for an e-commerce website, this could be the four categories which are not covered in the ad, but it can be fetched from your website dynamically. So these extensions are actually, I think, very important to beautify your ads and make them look interactive. So ad extensions are a must, especially when you are having, we have not covered the location extension here. Like you can see the from the mighty ape ad, you can see the location extension at the bottom. So if somebody wants to locate from these ads, they can actually click on these location extensions, and the number extensions also, which can also increase the number of calls received from the ads. So these call extensions and the location extensions and other extensions are very vital for your ads. Coming to the next slide is about the bidding strategies. Google has actually different bidding strategies which it suggests you from time to time. But if you are like, you have two options here: automated and manual biddings. So what does automated bidding do? So automated biddings are basically, they put Google in the driver's seat and allows the platform to adjust your bid on your competitors. So like, it's Google, it's with Google. Google will be managing those bids for you. So if you set everything to automatic, but with manual, uh, it it lets you to set the bid amounts for your ad groups and keywords, and giving you the chance to reduce the spending on low performing ads. So a lot of my clients actually ask these questions, like whether we should go with manual bidding or we should go with automated bidding. So I always advise them, like, if you have a large budget, then always go for automated bidding. But if you're looking for something cost effective, manual bidding is a must. But manual bidding, like the word says, it requires a lot of manual work. Client has to himself go into the back end and see how the ads are performing, and just, tweaking the budget every now and then, reducing the CPCs. So it requires work, but it is a cost effective method. Like in the expert tip also, I have covered this thing. If you're just starting out, you might want to start with an automatic bids until you get familiar with the AdWords system. However, setting bids manually can usually be more cost effective. So if you are willing to get into the AdWords and want to spend some time in optimizing the ads, really want to learn, then set everything to manual. And also, like, once you have set everything, then from time to time Google also gives you suggestions to increase your sorry, to just change your bidding selections, like maximum conversions or maximum CPC. There are a lot of complicated bids as well, apart from manual and automated. So it will give you suggestions from time to time, like as your campaigns become old and they have historical stats, and like the 3 months old, Google start giving you some additional tips on how you can optimize these by changing these biddings. Common mistakes to avoid. So the first mistake which usually we make is not tracking the actual performance using analytics and AdWords, and configuring the goals. Like we have covered in our previous webinars also, like having an analytics setup is a must for a website. And if you're an e-commerce website, you need to track your e-commerce goals. What's revenue, and how many transactions are happening in a month. So it's very important to keep a track on those aspects. So if you're not tracking AdWords and analytics, then you won't be able to count on the conversions. So how you need to really link analytics and AdWords account together, and whatever goals you have set in analytics, you need to import those goals into your AdWords account so that everything is on the same base, and you can also see the statistics of AdWords from the back end of your analytics also, how your ads are performing. So it gives you a good idea of the conversions, actual conversions happening on the website. Like these goals can be contact form submission, the phone clicks, email clicks, or the actual transactions happening on your website, which are very important for an e-commerce store. So yeah, just linking these two accounts together is a must. And of course, not choosing keywords carefully, not adding negative keywords, or using too broad keywords, which you should avoid. The other mistake I have seen that people are only using the broad match keywords just to broaden the search so that they're getting more clicks, more traffic. But I would suggest here that there's no use if somebody is not interested in buying your products or services and they're just wasting your budget by clicking on it. So the broad match keywords actually does that. So avoid using too broad keywords.
Mm.
And not creating enough campaigns and ad groups. I really advise my clients to tap all the services and all the products you're having. Like create categories according to ad groups and add individual set of keywords into each ad group and tap everything you have on your website. Because I mean, it's if you are low on budget, it's okay to advertise only on 2 or 3 services. But if your budget is a good amount of budget, then you should actually be structuring your AdWords like to tap the whole of your website. Like I said in the previous slides, your ad groups should be the mirror image of your website structure. So something like that. The most important one, not bidding on your own brand. I have seen actually in the past, Tom, you must have also seen your
Mm.
clients are not bidding on their own brand keywords,
Mm-hmm.
which is I think very vital. I mean, yesterday I was making a search on Pizza Hut. I just typed in Pizza Hut, and I actually saw the ad of Domino's on the top. So like I have seen, like I have told you in the previous slides also, like the organic searches are below the paid search.
Mm.
So the paid search takes the top rank. So if you are not bidding on your own brand, somebody else will bid on your brand, which we really don't want. I mean, it's about tap, especially with your brand name, you should tap all these spaces in the search results. Of course, organically you will be on top because it's how Google works. But with the paid search, your competitors can actually advertise on your brand name, which you really don't want. And yes, mobile is no longer a choice. Your website should be mobile friendly. Otherwise, because nowadays most of the users and customers are looking from their mobile devices. And if your website is not mobile friendly and your landing pages are not responsive enough in mobile devices, then you might end up having a lot of bounce traffic. So mobile is a must. Mobile friendliness is a must.
Mm. That's right.
Not choosing your locations properly. Google also actually gives you the opportunity to add locations to your ads. Like if you are running an ad with NZ wide, but your store is in Auckland only, so there's no point having the traffic from all over New Zealand. So selecting the proper location is very important. I won't say select according to the suburbs or add specific areas, but select at least the whole city so that you're tapping the whole network in Auckland. And then underneath you can have multiple suburb selections, or you can also select from the 30-meter radius or something like that. It gives you a lot of options to choose from the specific locations also. The next is shopping campaigns, which most of the e-commerce stores doesn't do. So I advise every e-commerce store should be doing shopping campaigns. Shopping campaigns are a must if you're an e-commerce store. Cool, that's me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nettie. Lots of very good information through there. You've taken a very complex subject and broken it down very succinctly. So thank you so much. Just a couple of questions here to get us started.
Mhm.
Okay, so We've got one here. It says Google offers various ad types, but which are the best ads to start from?
Like actually, Google offers you a lot of ad types which you can choose from, but it again depends on your objective. So, like it gives you an option of search ads, it gives you an option of display ads. I mean, search ads are for those who are lead generation websites. So, search ads work actually best for the lead generation website. So, just start with search ads, but if your objective is to have lots and lots of impressions, display ads are for you. Like some people actually do the mixture of search ads as well as the display ads. Display ads bring you a lot of traffic, whereas the search ads bring you the leads. So
Yes.
I think again it depends. Like if you're running a brand awareness campaign, I prefer using display ads
Right,
as
right.
well as search ads. But if you're like only looking for conversion, search ads are for you. And
Okay.
also we have app ads, which again are for application specific. If you're having apps for your business, then only you should be running them. And video ads, of course, if you are having good 30-second or 20 seconds videos for your business, then you should be running them.
Yeah, really powerful video, isn't it? So another question here is, do landing pages matter? And can you just describe for us a little bit about what is a landing page?
See, if your website is not that great, the yeah, basically people put homepage as their landing page. But if
Mm,
your homepage is not that interactive and it doesn't have snippets of all the second level categories, then I always suggest to create landing pages first, which should cover all the hero categories you have and hero products you have,
yes.
so that, and of course, landing page has to be mobile friendly.
Mm,
And I mean, you just make some just 2 or 3 variations of a single landing page and see what is working best for you.
absolutely. Yeah, we've said it a few times, haven't we, how important mobile is. And I think over these past few weeks, we've seen even more how mobile responsiveness is just not just a must, but people want to actually finish conversions on a mobile device. So yeah,
Hmm.
being mobile responsive
Yep,
really,
yep,
really matters. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So why is understanding the match types and keywords so important?
Match types actually, there are a lot of details to it, to be very honest. It takes time to understand different match types, but like I have reinstated that again in my website, oh sorry, in my webinar also. Like the match types are vital. Like if you're using too broad searches,
Mm,
then you might end up having unwanted clicks,
yeah.
and because you're paying Google for every click and you don't want to waste your budget. So I prefer having broad match modifiers
Mm,
and usage of negative keywords. So amalgamation of the negative keywords and using the broad match modifier really works well for your campaigns. So avoid using too broad keywords. This will waste your budget.
yeah, great advice. Because really, it's not the amount of traffic we get to the site that's important, is it? But the quality of the traffic, because conversion of that traffic to do, we'll get them to do what we want them to do is the key. That business goal.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Um, so, how do we control our mobile ads?
I mean, Google actually automatically displays these ads on various devices. Like it displays your ads on the desktops, it displays your ads on tablets, as well as it displays your ads on the mobile devices. But if you think that a particular device is not working for your brand, like for example, you are not getting much clicks from the mobile ads, from the mobile devices, then you can adjust your bids. I mean, go to
Mm,
the settings in the backend of the Google
yeah,
and just adjust your bids accordingly. And you
right,
can
right.
also put like if you want to put 80% of your budget to mobile phones, you can
Mm,
also do that. I mean, some people have most of the clicks, like 80% clicks from the mobile devices rather than desktop or tablets, which is like very common nowadays. So I always adjust the budgets accordingly. You can adjust the budget in the back end of the AdWords, and then I mean, it will bring you more and more traffic because most of your budget is allocated to mobile devices, which is already performing for you.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. No, you've covered some amazing territory. It's really good. And I'm sure people have a lot of questions, you know, as they mull over um, what we've shared today. So if you do, guys, if you do have any questions, please just reach out to us. It's really important. So let's just do a bit of a recap now of what we've covered. Here. So digital has been slowly rising over the years, and with COVID-19 changing how we interact, there's been a large increase in businesses and people wanting to get digital and needing to know how. So what do we know? Well, we know there's a divide between those who are visiting shops and those who are purchasing online. A website is a common tool people are using in their purchasing decisions. So this presents an opportunity here, and from the studies what I mentioned in the introduction, we know that these are, of course, uncertain times, and those who choose to face a situation ahead, taking it head on rather than perhaps backing down, are more successful. History has shown us that. So introducing or maintaining market strategies for your website and businesses is likely to have a positive impact for you. Bit of a prediction for you. Similar to Zeald's tagline, businesses who adapt, evolve in this current COVID-19 world will find themselves ahead of the curve and hopefully leading as we move into these times ahead. Recommendation for you, you don't need to have a large budget to get started, and please don't let excuses get in the way. It's really important. It's so important. If you have the motivation to do what it takes for your business to survive, then there are lots of ways to help. My recommendation for today is to do something. Start somewhere. Take that first step into digital marketing, digital advertising, paid or organic. Zeald has helped over 15,000 businesses transform digitally over the last 20 years. If you'd like support in setting up a lead generation system, please get in touch. We provide a free strategy or website audit session with our team of experienced digital business strategists. Zeald has also extended their original offer of the Get E-commerce movement, that is Gem Fund. We're offering e-commerce website builds free for the first 12 months, no sale, no fee hosting. If you would like to find out more about this, then please visit our website. Or if you know someone who is interested and of course in need of this, then please share that with them. Our next seminar is Friday the 22nd of May at 2 p.m. where we'll be covering Email Marketing 101 tips for this important marketing tool. Our Zeald strategist, Kim Charlotte, will be there joining us as our guest speaker. After this webinar, you'll see a feedback form. If you have any feedback or potential topics you'd like us to cover, then please provide these to us in this form. And once again, thank you for joining us today.